Back in this country now, school kids being punished for wearing patriotic clothing to class. Few cases now. In Oregon, a middle school student suspended for wearing a T-shirt in honor of his older brother, an Iraq War veteran. School officials telling him it violated the dress code. He refused to change the shirt.
I was nervous and kind of heartbroken because I feel like I should be able to support the troops that have died for us.
That was in one case. Here's another. Texas twin girls were barred from wearing jackets with an Air Force patch on the back in honor of their father, a disabled veteran. Leslie Marshall, syndicated radio talk show host and a blogger for the Huffington Post, also a Fox News contributor, and David Webb, host of the David Webb Show and SiriusXM's Patriot Channel, columnist for The Hill and Fox News contributor. Good day to both of you.
Good morning, Bill.
What's going on out here? I mean, David, what is this? Is this coincidence or more than that?
It's more than coincidence, Bill. And let me say this, that both the Dexter McCarthy Middle School principal, John George, and Aubrey, Texas principal, Karen Wright, should be ashamed of themselves. And I'm naming them because they deserve to be shamed publicly. When I was in high school, I got in trouble, and I'm wearing my dad's crossed rifles on my lapel to highlight part of this. In high school, I chose to wear my dad's Vietnam veterans jackets. As when I die, I'll go to heaven because I've served my time in hell. And I wore it to a prep school with a strict jacket and tie dress code. We didn't even get to wear jeans. I didn't get in trouble at school with my parents because they said you should have asked us. What these children have done is not offensive. It does not represent a weapon. And the idiocy of the principal, John George and others, is to look at something that you can Google and see what it stands for those who have died and been buried on the battlefield, that they would take that in any way as offensive. And as for the Aubrey, Texas girls, kudos to that father. Abigail's a great name. Cadence is an even greater name. I wonder if he got that because of the cadence that he had to either call out or march it.
They were born on an Air Force base.
Right.
Now, Leslie, where are you on this debate?
Well, first of all, no question that we should honor our men and women in the military. They are heroes, and they're the reason I'm doing what I'm doing right now. However, I have a 7- and 8-year-old, and although I think sometimes the rules at the school they attend are a bit crazy, at their school there is no jewelry, for example. That means no crosses, no Stars of David, no lockets with pictures of dads or moms who might be overseas. When there is a dress code in place, especially at the twin school, for example, there's a dress code in place. It has to do with uniformity. If you don't like the dress code, you can fight to change it, which the twins' parents allege. They say it's a stupid rule. You can also.
It's a big logo.
David, wait.
It's a big logo, and it could cross into other things, maybe gangs and stuff like that. And the school's probably dealt with that in the past and don't want to revisit that. This is what the school said to both of you. Aubrey ISD has a student dress code to follow, just as our military personnel are expected to wear uniforms. The dress code, which has been in place for over a decade, instills pride, discipline, and levels the playing field for students to allow them to focus on learning. End quote from the superintendent. David, this is the argument from Leslie and others. We've got our rules. You either follow them or you go stay home.
This is ridiculous, Bill. Here's where we've come. First of all, that principal has no concept of analogy. If in any way she compares students in a dress code to the military and the uniform that our service members wear. Yes, I get it. There are dress codes, but we've lost common sense. It is ridiculous to try and separate children into such small boxes. That expression, which is something we want our children to carry out within reason, is being taken away from them. And to support our soldiers, there's a bigger message. To support our service members is that these children are standing up for principles of freedom, and they are being shut down. What does that say to our children today? You know what, Leslie? If they want to have the ridiculous rules of not wearing a cross, I had a rosary, I had a cross, I had a Santa Ana Guild medal.
No, I get the point you're making. They're standing up and making a statement for their parents. What's wrong with that, Leslie?
I don't think making a statement is wrong, but I think, do we teach our children break rules, or do we teach our children fight to change rules? And I, as a parent, would rather do the latter. And I do agree with your point, Bill. Here in California and other places, especially some of the inner cities in the United States, there are kids that have been killed over what they wear, certain kinds of sneakers. There have been kids that, and still are, that are bullied over what they David, if I could finish, there are kids are bullied over what they do or they don't wear. I don't feel that the classroom and our education children are wearing, especially living in Los Angeles. About what we're talking.
Hear something because that's the false argument.
I got it. David, thanks to you, Leslie. I see Leslie went back to the West Coast so she could get away from you, David.
Past weekend.
Thanks to both of you. Leslie and David. See y'all next week. Thanks.